Hello and welcome. I'm Fahad Hussain. Today, of course, as you can see right here, is the most dangerous and consequential day of the conflict. Today, we're going to talk about different aspects of what is happening in the war on Iran. And nothing is more important at this stage than the statement that has come from Pakistan. What has happened is that Iran attacked Saudi civilian infrastructure, as a result of which Pakistan's Foreign Office has now issued a statement which I think I would probably not be wrong in saying would have taken a lot of consultation, because at this particular moment, with the situation as sensitive as it is, this would have taken a lot of thought to give the statement. But it is very clear in what it says. It says the government of Pakistan expresses its deep concern and equivocal condemnation of the missile and drone attacks carried out by the Islamic Republic of Iran last night against the energy facilities in the eastern region of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Then it goes, Pakistan, of course, mourns the loss of life resulting from these attacks and strongly deplores the damage inflicted on vital infrastructure. The government of Pakistan conveys its sincere condolences to the families of the victims and firmly stands in solidarity with the government and people of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia during this difficult time. And then the statement goes on to say, the government of Pakistan considers these attacks a serious violation of Saudi Arabia's sovereignty and territorial integrity and a dangerous escalation, please mark this, a dangerous escalation that undermines regional peace and stability. And finally, of course, Pakistan reaffirms its unwavering support for the kingdom's security. This, of course, links directly with the defense pact that Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have. Now, clearly, this means that Pakistan is at a stage where it is almost on the verge of perhaps getting a breakthrough in terms of the conflict between Saudi Arabia, between US and Iran. This incident coming at the time that it did has obviously created a lot of complications for all concerned, and in that context, I think the statement, Pakistan had no choice but to issue the statement, and this has also been followed by another statement by the Corps Commanders Conference, who also condemned this attack on Saudi Arabia and said very clearly that Pakistan stands categorically for the defense and territorial integrity of Saudi Arabia. Now, all of this is happening when President Donald Trump has just issued this new post, which has created an earthquake because of the language in the way that he's expressed his, for the lack of a better word, sentiments. And he says, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want to do that, want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change where different, smarter and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary and wonderful can happen. Who knows? That's typical Trump. We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world, 47 years of etc., etc., etc. So he's now once again threatened to wipe out the entire Iranian civilization. And of course, there is outrage over this post that he's just fired off, and it is already facing a lot of backlash. And this is connected directly to what he's threatening. This map that you can see right here actually shows the power plants in Iran. And we've heard the American president saying in no uncertain terms that he's going to target all of these plants or many of these plants. And we've also heard very clearly from all international legal experts that this would constitute a war crime.
Threat to bomb power plants and bridges amount to
No,
war
not at
crimes?
all. No. I hope I don't have to do it. But again, I just said 47 years they've been negotiating with these people. They're great negotiators, and because they're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
As you can see, the ones marked in red are gas power plants. The one in blue are hydro, and then of course the one in there's coal, and this one is the nuclear one, which has already been targeted, and this is the list of the power plants that you see here. So if Trump were to actually go through with this threat, this would clearly mean the kind of escalation that we could not have ever dreamed of. And please remember, Iran has also said in no uncertain terms that if this were to happen, they would respond in kind, which essentially means that they're going to then start targeting the same kinds of infrastructure on the other side of the Strait, which means the Gulf countries. Now, all of this happened when there was talk about some breakthrough in terms of the negotiations that were happening through Pakistan. Initially, if you remember, the Americans sent a 15-point proposal, which I'm just going to share with you shortly, through Pakistan to Iran. They read those points and they rejected them categorically. Then in return, for a long time, there was no response from Iran. And then now, very recently, they've issued their own 10-point plan, which has been reported by multiple newspapers, including the New York Times, and who are in turn quoting the Iranian state media. Now, we don't have a list of all the main points, but some of the information that has come out actually points to what Iran is now looking for, which essentially means a guarantee that Iran would not be attacked again, end to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the lifting of all sanctions. Iran would lift its de facto blockade of the key shipping route through the Straits of Hormuz if it were to get all of these. Iran would also impose a fee of roughly $2 million per ship that it would split with Oman, which of course is right on the other side of the Strait, and then Iran would use its share of the proceeds to reconstruct this infrastructure destroyed by American and Israeli attacks, rather than demand direct compensations. Now, these are the points that are being reported. Unofficially, there's no official verification or no official statement that says that these are actually the points, but so far there has been no contradiction also. So we are clearly looking at some space for negotiation. We still don't know how the Americans would respond to it. What we are hearing is that a lot of influential American voices are saying that this plan which Iran has given is something that could be considered very seriously in America. Unlike the American plan, which was given to the Iranians, if you see this list of their demands, hardly any of them can actually be accepted by Iran, given their position in this conflict so far. Now, let's move forward. I want to share a couple of other things with you also. Looking at this particular conflict, you can see that one of the key points that Iran has actually mentioned in their demands is that they are willing to share the fees for or the transit fees of ships passing through the Straits of Hormuz with Oman. And this shows you why that makes sense, because this is the Straits of Hormuz, as you can see right here, and here's Oman, there's Iran, and this is the Oman's Omani territorial limits or territorial waters. So any ship that passes through the strait also passes through some of Oman's territorial waters, which essentially means that this formula, were it to actually be agreed upon, would mean that Oman and Iran would then share the profits. So if it's $2 million, the figure that has been quoted by Iran, $2 million per ship, then it would be $1 million each for Oman and Iran, and that would given the traffic, which I'm just going to show you, given the traffic passing through the Straits of Hormuz, that's not going to be just a petty change. All of this was boosted by this tweet this morning. This morning, the Iranian ambassador in Pakistan posted these words, these sentences, and they led to a flurry of excitement or anticipation that perhaps something good was happening. He said Pakistan's positive and productive endeavors in goodwill and good office to stop the war is approaching a critical, sensitive stage. Stay tuned for more, of course, which means for the first time that Iran is also showing some encouraging signs of where this negotiation may go. But of course, after that, we have no other proof that things are actually moving in the right direction. What proof we do have is of the traffic of the Straits of Hormuz, and I've mentioned this is the latest satellite picture as of just a few hours ago today, and it shows very clearly that the ships parked on the Arabian Sea side and on the other side are still very much there. There's very little movement except for these few ships which are passing by, and of course these few ships, these red dots that you see, these are the ships that seemingly are the ones who have permission from the Iranian government to actually pass through. And as I mentioned earlier, Pakistan also has that permission. Now, given all of this, we can very safely say that the conflict is situated at a very critical juncture.
Your messaging on the war has moved from the war is coming to an end to war going to be bombing Iran to the Stone Ages. Right. And we've heard a range of those kind of messages. So which is it? Are you winding this down or are you escalating?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell you. Depends what they do. This is a critical period.
It could go either way. President Trump's deadline is only a few hours away. If his tweet is anything to go by, his post is anything to go by, he's referred to both eventualities. The worst kind and the best kind. And at this stage, we can only hope that sanity prevails, Pakistan's diplomacy prevails, and we get peace.